because there are evil and wicked people there. We're just going to have to wait and see. But, of course, we need to get people to understand the past so they can anticipate the future. Okay? I guess we lost...
Absolutely, because we don't want this parasitic government to have any justification to implement martial law.
Amen, and that's what they really want. And, hey, thanks for so much for calling, Sean. And let's go to Mike, who's calling from Santa Cruz. Mike, do you have a question or comment for our guest?
I want to pick up on the previous caller's thread there. This bailout, which I call blackmail bill, is actually a false flag operation by itself. They're blaming it all on the home mortgage holders that have been defaulting for so long. They're saying this is the reason for worldwide economic collapse, and so they have to step in like the heroes.
When they are the ones who created it in the first place.
But, Mike, they have not stepped in. That should be the one thing that everybody should understand. 4.5 months ago, they said, this is the problem, and we're going to do something about it. And 4.5 months later, they say, well, in a couple of weeks, we're going to come up with a plan. That doesn't make me feel very secure.
Right. Well, no, I agree with you. They haven't, but they've been posturing themselves that way. The same as with the so-called 9/11 terrorist attack and the war. They're posturing themselves as the heroes that are going to solve the world's terrorist problems when they're the perpetrators and they're not solving anything. It's the same thing now.
What do you think, Bob?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
I agree with him, too. Okay.
They have no intention of solving anything. They're just playing us along. And at the same time, they're trying to hold the stock market up. But they'll let the stock market go down when they're good and ready, when it goes in with their plans. And you've got to remember, and Stan knows this chapter and verse, that these people have thousands of foundations and non-governmental organizations and the ability to continue to plan 24 hours a day all over the world, things that they're going to do 20 years from now. And we're trying to fight them doing this. So this is nothing new. This is something that has been in the works for a long time.
But thank goodness for Alex and Joyce and the others who are getting the word out, and Bob who's getting the word out. So we got a lot of good things going of ours, Mike, and there's much we have to be encouraged about.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be exciting times, Stan, like you always say.
And basically, we are all going to be hurt before this is over. There's no question. We're all going to suffer, but it's just possible that we could come out with a reconstitution of America, but we have to expose the evil and wicked people who control both political parties, who consistently have their people in key positions. I'm talking about the Trilateral Commission, where 11 of the 87 members of the Trilateral Commission are now in key positions in the Obama administration. Does anybody out there think that out of the 350 or 325 million people in America, they had to go to this little group of 87 people to give them all the choice positions in our government, including 5 positions in the State Department and certainly the Secretary of the Treasury and the Chief of Intelligence and certainly the National Security Advisor and the Deputy National Security Advisor and the UN Ambassador, all coming from the Trilateral Commission. Anybody who believes that's just by accident has to be incredibly naive. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, this big signing that Obama is going to be doing tomorrow in Denver, it's in the Denver Museum of Natural History, or close to that name anyhow. You can get it on the net pretty easy, and this thing has severe occult undertones or overtones. David Bay with The Cutting Edge presented an interesting summary that this is the alignment of the age of Aquarius with the planets.
And I think David does some excellent work. That's cuttingedge.org, is it?
Yeah, and I sent you an email on that. I tried to study into what the museum has and what they do.
It's pretty horrible. I've seen it, and believe me, it's horrible. Hang on. Mike, do you have anything else to say before we let you go?
I know you're short on time. I just want to kick that out there so people could be looking for the like I said, the occult underpinnings of this. It's so strange that he would be going to this elaborate measure for a simple signing ceremony that would normally be done in Washington, D.C.
Well, because the thing is that the Denver airport is simply a center of the occult in the United States today. And talk about bizarre. You see some of those pictures there, and they send chills down your back.
Yeah, but that's like 30 or 40 miles away. At the museum, right adjacent to it, is a big glass pyramid. Also, there's a planetarium, which I'm just wondering if they would be setting up the aquarium lineup of planets and the moon. And also, they have Egyptian mummies there. I wondered if they'll go into the mummy room for the signing. Who knows?
Who knows?
It's something to watch.
Keep us posted, Mike. Thanks so much, Bob. You got about a minute to wrap up the program. Actually, 2 minutes.
I think people, should pass the word on about what's going on out there, and I know that you're only going to be able to influence 1 out of 100, because that's been my experience since 1960, and so you got to keep at it. For every person that you turn on to what is really going on, who understands and acts, you've saved essentially another soul, and the people who radiate from that person, their family, their friends, and so on. So don't give up. You just keep on going, because if we would give up, we may as well just go and crawl in a corner and die.
Very well said, and our job is to keep on keeping on, and of course, but I think that we're making progress. I talk to people all the time who just waked up, and they seem so shocked that when they try to tell others, they think they're crazy, and I say it's not up to you to convince them. It's your job to tell them. And who knows what was going to happen later on down the line that's going to convince them you're right. But we're planting seeds, and God, of course, is going to bring them determination. Well, Bob, we're just about out of time. We're certainly going to look forward to talking to you real soon again here at Radio Liberty. One final thought before we let you go.
Let's hope gold is up tomorrow.
All right, fine. God bless. Thanks so much.
Because we have so many people who have their assets in it, and it's the only way to go.
Okay, God bless. Thanks so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And Chris, our guest has been Bob Chapman from the International Forecaster. Always a pleasure having Bob with us, and we hope that you enjoy our programs with him right here at Radio Liberty.